you have faced in the last a decade or so, and challenges faced in skilling ecosystem. I thought it would be prudent to put it across. Certain facts are blunt, and they are my personal experience. In fact, no offense meant, and we are also we are all in the same ecosystem wherein we have faced it day in and day out. I'll be an odd man out. I've had wonderful lectures since morning, and mine will be slightly off track. I'll be only talking about the skilling ecosystem where everybody spoke about reducing the cost. I would request you, don't consider skilling and training as your cost. In fact, that will be good on my before I just jump into the discussion, I'll just briefly touch upon about my company, what constitutes and who are the directors. Just a couple of slides which okay, if not for the content, at least you can appreciate the kind of work I had put in to make this presentation, because being a trainer myself, I need to show off a bit in the delivery part, if not the content part. In fact, the slide is self-explanatory, and what I want you, purposely I have put this registration details. I'll come and I'll touch upon certain things about MSME registration, NAPS registration, Skill India registration. Purposely I put this, I'll come to it when, during the course of this thing. Okay, a quick look. How many of you can, in fact, Mr. Dinesh, Mr. Shantanu Bhatkamkar sir is there. He has been my inspiration throughout. I report to the principal chief secretary, sorry, the chief is missing, principal chief secretary, sorry sir. Recently it has, in Tamilnadu government, you must have heard of Non-Mudalvan scheme, wherein Mr. Uday Chandran IAS has been nominated as the principal chief secretary for special projects, and a couple of days back, I received an MOU from the Chief Minister. A lot of churning is happening in this in this ecosystem, in Tamil Nadu particularly, in the skilling ecosystem. And CMRL Managing Director and Managing Director of Tamil Nadu Skill Development is one of my directors. And Deputy Director Budget is, of course, we have consortium partnership from TVS Supply Chain Solutions and, of course, Chief Executive Officer, Logistics Sector Skill Council, one of the 38 Sector Skill Councils, and Shivasenan has been instrumental, and Captain Ramanujam is my senior advisor. Most of you out here might know him as well. This is my center. It's at Oragadam, and these are the facilities we have. It's a beautiful center at Indospace. Okay, we do programs on executive development program and upskilling programs on operational excellence, job-oriented finishing school programs for universities and colleges. We have signed MOUs with around 30 colleges and around 5 universities. And we do a lot of recognition of prior learning, and we implement NAPS in the industries. NAPS, for those who are not aware, National Apprentice Promotion Scheme, which is a fantastic scheme, but of course, though the intentions of the policy makers were good, with an offset of 1,500 rupees per month, but there are hardly any takers. When we approach the industries, they look at us with skepticism. And particularly when I say I am from Tamil Nadu Skill Development for logistics, and previously I was reporting to the Labour Secretary, they said, are you from the Labour Department? They always have that suspicion. When I say that you get an offset, people don't believe us. So schemes are good, the policies are good, a lot of good intentions, a lot of good thought process has gone into design and develop, but when it comes to implementation, we get into a lot of issues. I'll touch upon that later. Okay, my talk won't be much of statistics or it will be just of a storytelling kind of a thing. I will just take clue from what Bhatkamkar sir told in the morning about the myth and the reality. We have been seeing potential placement companies, every college, everywhere we keep seeing these kind of slides. I was told to flash this slide for those people who are sitting in the back. During the lunchtime also, we'll say what kind of companies we should be approaching. The slide is available, this PPT is available. You can take it, just have faith. But is this a myth? What is the reality? When we say so many companies have got so many vacancies, everywhere, every seminar I attend, they say there are 1,40,000 vacancies available in the next until 2023. But when I go to the colleges, they say we are not getting good placements, we are not getting good companies. Where is there is a dichotomy, there is some sort of a gap between the myth and the reality. And I quote PwC report, which says only 17% of the US CEOs and 30% of global CEOs felt upskilling programs are very effective in accelerating digital transformation. This is quote unquote. This is from PwC report. But where is the disconnect? And what do we do to bridge this gap? What I have done here in this slide is just, I have basketed. In fact, nothing new what is being flashed here, all of you know, but what I have done is, I have just basketed it in three categories. Industry leaders, they say that students are not industry ready, they are very poor in knowledge, skill and aptitude. Their upbringing, their upbringing is bad. They want to have a job next door. These are the general comments which you see from all the industry leaders. And they also say they keep jumping jobs for even small delta increase in salary. And they also say we don't want to invest in skilling and training because it is adding to my cost. Because as such, morning there was some discussion on this. When I upskill my staff, they find a better opportunity. Where do we bridge this gap? Who is to be blamed? It's not this thing. Everybody keeps blaming on others. The other set of category of people are the candidates or the students, you call it, the resources. They say, in fact, all these points which I have put, this is after interacting with a lot of stakeholders. I have spoken at length with industry, I have spoken at length with the policymakers, I have spoken at length with the students community, universities, placement officers, and I have categorized and basketed those points spelled out by them. It's not my thought process. So he says, the student says that the HR who comes and interviews us, what was promised, it's not the reality. And they confuse us with a lot of CTC, this thing. They say CTC is 12 lakhs and all. Ultimately, we get maybe 25,000 in hand, and they say everything is incentivized, incentive based and bonus based. So they get confused with the CTC. I'm talking about the first fresh recruitment. And the students say the work culture is not good, inhospitable, inhabitable conditions we have been put in. And they also say, we keep asking the students, why do you, or the first job seekers, he says, why do you keep jumping jobs? He says, we don't jump jobs, we just change the managers, we don't change jobs. So that is what they say. And engineers, graduates, when the first recruiter comes, the pay packets, at least in Tamil Nadu I can vouch, it is 12,000 to 18,000 is what is the normal market going rate. So this is the kind of pay package they get. So it's not commensurate with what skill sets they acquire, if at all. And for those who are into the quality and standards, the NSQF, a lot of thought process has gone in designing and developing national occupational standards at par with the international standards, qualification packs, national qualification framework. A lot of work has gone into it. I don't have to elaborate on that. Almost to make one QP operational, it takes almost 4 to 5 years after industry validation. A lot of iteration goes on. Experts out here will vouch for it. But ultimately, the bottom line is, please pardon me if I use that, no industry wants this. In fact, in European countries, I was told to compare it with the international this thing. In Europe, an apprentice gets around 120 pounds, whereas in India, even we bang our head to push these apprentices in the industry, no takers. No industry wants the apprentices, despite the fact a lot of effort has gone into bring this NAP scheme of occupational, this to incentivize these apprentice but it has not gone well with the industry. The policy standards, in fact, the think tank is here. They can vouch for it. How much time, how many deliberations, how many iterations, how many meetings would have taken place to design and develop one particular line item in a policy statement. But ultimately, when it comes to implementation, there is a big lacuna. There is a huge gap in that. A lot of effort has gone in for industrial validation. When the person who gets a level 4 or level 5 certification, he goes to the industry. Again, the same thing repeats, that the candidate is not industry ready. But what happens to all the process which has happened? I'm talking about those who have qualified NSDC certification level 4, level 5, not those college. So a lot of, we try best to bridge the academia and skilling and the sector skill councils, the UGC, everybody keeps blaming on the sector skills are not doing their job, the UGC is not up to the mark, the AACT is not doing their job. I have interacted very closely with all these organizations, and they have fantastic set of officers who have really dedicated their lifetime to get things going. But when I come to the other side, to the university side or to the college side or to the industry side, say the UGC is not doing their job, they are not up. They are not in tune with the reality and all that. I keep hearing the other side of the story. I was registrar of an university where I had interacted very closely with the University Grants Commission, the AACT, and they were very proactive in making it so dynamic. The last is the new education policy. And a lot of universities tried out this Western system of liberal arts, having masters by research. Except for Ashoka University, Christ University in Bangalore, it's a disaster. It's a fantastically designed thing. A lot of freedom and the leeway was given to the universities and colleges, but despite the best of efforts, it's a no-go. And having said this, all three we have seen, we need to have a balanced view of all these things. So what do? We have all these problems on one side, and we should, we got into a root cause analysis to see what really are the root causes of this. These are probable root causes. I must have listed few, but there are plenty. Things are flashed on the screen, the PPT is available. Nothing new is being flashed. If anybody has any difference of opinion in any of these probable root causes, you can take it offline with me. I can give you a story behind each and every root cause I have flashed. I'll just touch upon only this PDCA. We are excellent in planning. We have been listening to